This is a 2006 Infiniti Qx56, and the reason of the video is that earlier today the blower fan was not working. There was nothing coming out of the vents. None of the vents worked except for the rear vent, and that's the only I would turn it all the way over here. Obviously it worked, and then I would press, just to get it to blow air, and this didn't happen. It didn't turn on. I turned it off, I turned it back on, nothing worked. I was starting to freak out, like I thought there was something wrong with the control module or whatever. But obviously it's working now, but I just want to show what I did basically to get it working again, because I looked at a lot of videos and there was a lot of talk about blower motor resistor and then blower motor, which is actually both down here under the passenger side, under the glove box here. Okay, you got to take this down, which literally is just two of these. Excuse the mess. There's two of these pins that just literally just pull them right here, and they literally fall out and they pop out. And then 5.5 millimeter, and then got the ratchet here. But that's what you can use to take out the, see, here is the blower fan, and this is the blower fan resistor. And I was talking about the socket because that's what you could use to get these two bolts out. 1, 2, and I took it out because I thought that's what it was after I did all the Googling and everything. And well, like I said, it wasn't working earlier. The fan would not turn on. No air was coming out of the vents. So I took it out just to, inspect it, see if there was any corrosion on it. And I didn't see anything. I was like, it looks fine. And this, it's almost 20 years old, but I mean, it looked fine. Everything looked fine to me. I did not take the blower out. But what I did do was I got my test light here, and I went ahead and found a negative, which is, I just used the door, for example. And I wanted to see if I could get any, voltage. So what I did was I turned on the key to on position, not running. And I went ahead and took out the connector here. So let's just pull that connector out. All right, and let's go ahead and just turn on one of the fans, just anything really. All right, obviously it's not working now, so that's what it was doing earlier. But now what you can do here is you can get your test light. Let's just go ahead and find which. And this is how I was seeing, maybe there was a fuse blown or something. Just testing the connections here. So, oh wait, let me go back. I really need a tripod. You can just do this like with a regular test light. Oh, see there? So obviously it's getting power. So let's just go ahead and plug that back into the fan blower resistor. I don't even know what that means. Alright, as you can see, I plugged it back in and it works, right? Okay, so if you were to look here, this is the connection to the fan blower. And you know what? I'm gonna turn it off. Probably not the smartest thing to do this while it's working. So I'm gonna turn it off. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see anything or not, but I'm gonna try to get this connector loose. Which you just press in right here. You can pull it loose. Apologize if you can't see anything right now. Alright, let's get that connector. Alright, so I got the connector out. And this is before buying anything or checking any fuses or anything. So what I did was I went ahead and got the connector loose, and I did the test light for this as well. Let's just go ahead and turn the fan back on. just any old thing. And I went ahead and I was like, you know, if the resistor's getting power and if the resistor's working, that means that this should work. So as you can see, the fan's getting power. So I was thinking, if the fan's getting power, then that means the, you know, the blower fan is broken if it's getting power and it doesn't work. And literally all I did to fix it, and this is why I'm making the video, because, you know, instead of spending $200 locally or $100 online, I literally disconnected this. Oops. And I just connected it right back and it worked. And, you know, now earlier, I'll be honest with you, I did take, let me turn this off. I did take the resistor off, and then I unscrewed it, I pulled it down, I basically took it apart. It's really simple. It's just a few little clicks, and I mean, it looked fine. Like it's like a little computer chip, and it didn't look like there was any corrosion or anything. Or so it's like this. The reason I made the video is just because this is an example of if you can just get out here with a test light and a few tools and just check it before going online and buying all these parts, you know, you might be able to save some money. And I'm not saying like it's not going to go out, but my grandpa, he always said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, you know, it's not broke yet. So, you know, but I was able to narrow it down to, I guess the connection was loose, basically. Like I just plugged it, I unplugged the fan and I plugged it back in. Now it works. Praise the Lord. So I just want to make that video because, you know, I'm not looking to go spend $200, you know, every time something, you know, a part goes out or something like that, or run around to town. It's like I was able to do this in the evening, and it took me just a few minutes. And, you know, I just didn't have to, you know, it's winter time. I didn't really want to go without it. And, but luckily this way I was able to try to do a simple diagnosis. I didn't even pull or look at any of the fuses or the fuse panel. I didn't even look at that. I didn't even Google that, but I did do a bit of Googling about, like, you know, how does it work? What's the common parts that go out? And, you know, thank the Lord, the actuator still works, which I heard is like way in there. But yeah, that's the, you know, you got the resistor, you got the fan under this, and then all you got to do, which now that I've figured that out, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back, I guess, and yeah, I'll get that back. But I just want to make that little video because there's some things you can do. You know, it's like I thought it was broken, and this may just be like a way of it going out, but I may be replacing it next week. I just want to make a video saying, you know, like, this is something that you can do, and maybe you can save a lot of money just by doing this. Just, you know, maybe, you know, if it's a super hot day or a super cold day, and if you just unplugged it, plugged it right back in, and it started working, you know, it just takes a few minutes. You just got to try. And, you know, so far YouTube's free, so just wanted to add this.